their approach. Turtle dance here, now the flicker forward, coming in from Luke, looking for a grab. There's a split. Oh, the Crimson Beacon, Super Prince, the Monster Mage, entertains him. Annabelle falls, and now it's all falling apart. Light backing out, Feathered Airstrike coming through from Moreno, off camera. Light wants to run away, but Super Prince says, "Guru."
But he's at that point where they know they're just looking for a snowball.
Tsunami Slam. On the one, it's Luke. Gets that split, and that flicker away, looking for the grab still, but Kelra ain't letting that stand. Crimson Beacon by Super Fist looking for them stacks. Moreno goes down, another kill for Kelra, and the Beast unleashed. Enough damage to serve it up to Kelra. Down he goes.
There's no counter to this Lucas.
There is no counters except for the fact that it's in the jungle. I mean, given, we have had some winning Lucas.
Gideon. As we get into the second game, let's jump into the land of Dawn. Match point now for Onic PH against BIGETRON Esports. Let's see whether or not with this change in composition, with this change in roster, they're going to be able to make things happen, steer things up, and force a game numero 3.
All right, let me just soften my heart here a bit. The reason why I think I've taken the past 15 seconds to say, this is not such a bad pick on King Kong, Lucas, is because they're a team fighting lineup. That's all it is. Like, they just really want to get in your face, force you to commit spells, commit abilities, and if you're not ready for it, they'll run you over. That's one way you could win with a Lucas.
And that's why the Yves ban was so intelligent. Wait a second. Okay, for sticker in by Moreno.
Even in two-man pockets, in two-man squads, like, they can do that.
And, back to the Yves point, it also gives the Jushin a little bit more firepower in the mid lane, right? Without the presence of the Yves, the range that Super Prince has should not be as punished. So they're looking at mid trio prior right now, and it looks like they are currently holding it despite going ahead against Light on the Jawhead and Moreno on the far side.
And about, 2 minutes in almost, Turtle spawning, upper quarter, we haven't really seen much of ejector threats. Is because BIGETRON knows that if Onic so decides to fight, they can, get in the paint. They can oblige, no matter how early in the game it is now. So 2 minutes approaching. 4 members of Onic in the vicinity, best believe. Kurt can just run up there. He's about to hit level 4. This is Onic's MO.
It looks like it too, but I don't think BIGETRON want to go down without a fight.
Oh, Tsunami Slam on the Luke. Didn't even get to use the split. Now King Kong going hunting. He's a little wolf man, and they will secure.
Uncontested Turtle here in the first few minutes of the game, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Onic PH are still holding on to control. But the underlying concern that will build for them in the later stage of the game has still been left untouched, right? Eman in the gold lane on the Irithal. We've seen him turn around games as well. Single-handedly as well. So that is something that should be prioritized by Onic PH at some point in the game. It looks like they're not going to be rotating towards the gold lane just yet. But there is some emphasis from the side of BIGETRON Esports to protect that from happening.
Yeah, you're right. No, this is a very deliberate decision by Onic PH. They're saying, hey, it's not worth it to bother Eman. He's not even at 2 or 3 items just yet, but that might bite them in the behind if they're not careful.
Granted as well that Kelra is still ahead in terms of gold. I think not too much. I think 500 gold-ish in that difference, so Onic PH should be able to get to that power spec a lot quicker. Meanwhile, 2v1 situation.
What's going on? Oh no! Kirk entertained these two a little too long. What are we expecting?
I don't know. I think he wanted to clear in the waves. 2v1, unexpected.
Wanted to get the XP.
Wanted to get the XP. BIGETRON Esports, a little bit of a trade back here, but it's still Onic PH with the lead. Brusco goes in, but it's just onto Light.
That was a blind read. I mean, he does have a flicker, so I guess he's fine. Look at that, how much Kelra chunked off of that turret shield.
And that's a problem.
Big money.
1,000 gold ahead, I think. Just by that alone, Kelra now leading. It is 1,000, yeah.
About 1,000, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. For a quiet game like this, that's amazing.
And that's the beauty of PH games, right? You don't necessarily see a lot of conflict on the board, but something is always happening that's very subtle, but it ends up leading up to something bigger. And the fact that Keldra will be able to get that power spike faster is something that Bigetron Esports will have to endure as it game progresses, because he already has a Hunter Strike on his way, I believe, to the Sky Piercer.
You can say that again. Very cerebral approach the Super Fam has taken this compared to their action in game 1. Weirdly enough, this is an action-centric lineup. Like, they really want to fight, but the way they're approaching it, very surgical in their approach. Turtle Dance here, now the flicker forward, coming in from Luke, looking for a grab. There's a split. Oh, the Crimson Beacon, Super Prince, the Monster Mage, entertains him. Annabelle falls, and now it's all falling apart. Light backing out, Feathered Airstrike coming through from Moreno, off camera. Light wants to run away, but Super Prince says, get over here, and now the Turtle is up next. Oh my lord, Onic PH divide and conquer. The beast gets to eat good.
And they didn't even have to do anything fancy with it either, right? It was Bigetron Esports that went in for an opportunity. I think Luke jumped in a little bit too early, honestly, onto King Kong. And Onic PH just answered what Bigetron Esports was asking, right? Here's the initiation. What are you going to do about it? Onic PH, 2 members down, and then they also get the neutral objective take as well. So 3,000 gold lead already in 5 minutes.
This is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
With how little violence there is, like casualties. Oh, what's up? Oh, Feathered Airstrike, point blank. Kirk goes away. In comes the rest of Onic PH. Moreno off camera. Tsunami slam on Emma. And oh my god, the 2 cores. They were there and they're now so behind 4K.
Unfortunate for the red robots, and Kirk still gets out alive to boot. Bought enough time. What's happening in the mid lane? Kale's getting caught really low. Should be able to get out.
Ooh,
okay.
All right. That's
Gets
fine.
out.
Yeah. Light, again, does not want to overcommit to that fight. They are in full-on defense mode, damage control. This is what the Super Fam can get away with their newfound love for macro gameplay. Last year, in 2024, their run, it was all about mechanics. It was all about team fighting. Now, they're minimizing the damage. The grab on the Kirk. He falls. Free kill for Annabelle.
But honestly, that's okay, right? Because with so much control over onto Onic PH, tower in the top side goes. Tower in the bottom side goes. It looks like they're looking for another one. Should be able to zone out Eman away here. And that's just been the nature of Onic PH at this point. Bigetron Esports, I wonder if they're used to this, right? MPLID, always about brawl-heavy style games, very high action-packed. And when their macro gets put to the test, can they adapt on time?
You know what? It did take a while for the rest of the world to follow through learning how to Lord Dance. But hey, we learned at M4 in 2023. The rest of the following years, the rest of the world has to pick up on that. And now look at this. Inside the turtle pit, Luke, very low, gets a split. That's right, the answer by Moreno, the ejector on a Super Prince. Finally, Bigetron Esports finds the Monster Mage, tames him, but only for so long. Luke, once more, forced to flicker away, gets another split. In comes Brusco, gets that Tsunami Slam, beaten off a kill to Kelra. Annabelle falls, Luke up next, the Beast, helping Kelra get a double.
How does that happen? Bigetron Esports started that so well, already a man advantage in the neutral objective fight. Granted, they were looking for something more. Triple kill as well, secured in. What?
What
is that?
Where?
Huh?
How? They're not done! Emma falls! The Super Fam goes above and beyond to wow us.
4 members for the price of 1. Plus, they also get the perfect turtle. That's 501 stats onto Kelra with the Sky Piercer to boot. Things are crumbling for the red robots right now.
Crumbling is an understatement. They are getting dismantled, turned into scraps. That's what the Decepticons would do to the Autobots if they had their way. No mercy from Onic PH. No quarter. You come in within range, you go down. They're taking even the purple.
Especially it was already that low, right? That's Sky Piercer plus the Malefic Roar for you, ladies and gentlemen. And Luke, unfortunately, had to learn that the hard way. 032 on his signature glue.
he's trying his best. Again, we talked about this pre-match. We set it up that, you know, Luke is reliable. Eman can turn things around late game. Moreno has sound mechanics, you know, can come in clutch, but the underlying symptoms, they're still there. There's a lot of lessons that they're still in the process of learning from game one.
That's a 3,000 gold lead for the gold laner.
Alone.
Just the gold laner.
Kelra making Eman really feel like a mortal in the presence of the god in the gold lane.
And you know, looking at the items again, Super Prince feeling himself with the Sky Thirster too.
There you go. This is what people do in ranked. This is what we were expecting from the couple of Zushins we saw yesterday. Here, this time around, Fritz is looking at that. Fritz is looking at Riz like, "Hey, look, my coach let me do this."
A lot more composed in the emblems, but he's at that point where they know they're just looking for a snowball.
Tsunami slam. On the one, it's Luke. Gets that split, and that flicker away, looking for the grab still, but Kelra ain't letting that stand. Crimson Beacon by Super Fist looking for them stacks. Moreno goes down, another kill for Kelra, and the beast unleashed. Enough damage to serve it up to Kelra. Down he goes. Once more, the Maniac cannot get the Savage. Light walks away.
Oh, 4 members again. Another Maniac in the hands of Kelra. He's sitting at 10-0-1 on the Harith and now on the Granger. What can't he do at this point? These inhibitor turrets should be falling. A 10,000 gold lead for Onic PH.
He can't stop, won't stop, Eterna. He's just gonna keep going.
And going they will, going they shall. A Lord already being bursted down, blitzed down. Man, Onic PH in game number 1, we saw some things that could have been cleaner.
They seemed human.
They seemed human finally, but in game number 2, they're like, all right, no.
The gloves come off.
The hair ties.
Oh yeah, they go off. Gloves come off, hair ties go off, and your bases start to crumble. Your turrets fall, your holy shields pop, and Lord comes a marching down bottom. Looks great in an Onic PH jersey.
Can they defend this? Technically, Moreno has the high ground. Technically, Amon should be able to clear despite the lack of range. Only on 2 items right now. By the way, Amon only Windtalker and the Berserker Fury. Let's hope it's enough.
Feather Dare Strike, maximum range, smack dab right in the middle of that base, hitting up mid, hitting down bottom, but this is the inevitable. Lord crashing through, finally piercing down that inhibitor, and that's permanent damage. Up next in mid.
It's gonna go down for sure, right?
And the flicker tsunami slam forcing a fight against Moreno. He goes down, Luke follows up just as quickly, and now it's just 3 to defend in the base. BIGETRON Esports knows the end is nigh. The sweep is upon us. Ladies and gentlemen, the Super Fam is so back. King Kong finds one. There's the wipeout. Waiting for a minion wave. Onic PH, 13,000 gold ahead. Waves crashing through. Top, bottom, and mid. They take the game 2-0.
2-0 clean from Onic. Clean execution, clean draft. And the Red Robots had absolutely no say, especially in this second game.
You can see the smiles on their faces. They knew that they played it cleaner.